So on that topic of like, as a Christian, should we be listening to the Beef, but just like secular music in general? I feel like No Big Deal's podcast, Creative Control. Have you?
I've seen clips of it on Instagram. Don't
He,
listen to it, but I've seen clips of it.
yeah, throughout
I'm not a
all of those.
podcast guy.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
just recently got into podcasts, and I used to not listen to them, but his, like he kind of discusses music, with all of his guests that he has on, and throughout like all the ones, I think he's done like six so far. Like you can go listen to him, and he explains really well how Christians should view music, not just Christian music, but just anything like art in general. Especially when it's not Christian, like we can still find things to that glorify God. Even he just dropped an episode today, and I watched it, and he was talking to DJ Mike LV about like what he brought up. What if there's a song he didn't say this, but I'm gonna say like Doja Cat's "Paint the Town Red," where it's or like a
That's an
Lil Nas X
interesting
song.
one. That's an
Like
interesting one.
how do we find like God in that? And like he was saying, it might not be glorifying God through the lyrics, but we can still, like, every piece of equipment that was made in order to record and all that, like, it was made by him. He created every human to create. And he went deeper than that. I can't like really say his exact words, but if you want to like learn more about that and kind of hear his opinion, I definitely would recommend the Creative Control podcast for that.
Yeah. I did see a clip of it on Instagram, and I really liked what I saw. I'm pretty sure it was with John Keith, and
Yeah.
somebody had said what was the worst thing John Keith has ever done, and it was like, or no, who does John Keith remind you of? And somebody said a male Ice Spice, and he went, I don't even know what's that about, and I was just laughing. But that's the only exposure I've had to that podcast.
Yeah.
But as far as that goes, that can go places. But one thing that I had mentioned earlier was the gray areas and the black and white, right?
Mm-hmm.
And secular music is a gray area.
Yeah.
But lots of Christians treat it like it's black and white. Lots of them. I am of the camp where I still, because I grew up no secular music. That's how I grew up.
Same with me. Pretty much,
all
for the most part.
88.1, 89.3, Chris Tomlin. And, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really love Toby Mac.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciated him because, he was better than what was on the radio. Which, actually, speaking of which, I took that for granted because the radio became so much worse later in life. Christian radio did. It used to play Skillet once in a while. They don't even do that anymore. They don't even do that. And when they do, it's only their soft songs. No, they used to play their hard rock hero, Awake and Alive, on the radio. And I'm just shocked that they even did that.
Yeah.
That it's pandering to an extreme. But so when I kind of started getting older, at first I took matters into my own hands and just was listening to secular music, pretty much most of the time. And I'm not gonna lie. Right now, I just listen to whatever sounds good. So if it's Christian, it's Christian. If it's secular, it's secular.
Yeah.
And that's because even since I was young, it was all about the sound. And I know there are people who will say, the lyrics, what it's saying, but it's always been about the sound. I listened to Capital Kings. Usually, I never cared about what they were saying. I would just cared about the melodies,
the sound,
and the beats. That's it. So, of course, now I'm a little bit more mature. Time has gone by, and I believe that yes, lyrics are obviously important, but there are times where your brain's really not like paying attention to the lyrics. You don't really care. You just care that it might give you, as I was saying earlier about the beef, a distraction. It might be a distraction, and sometimes that's what we need. Now, am I saying listen to music that possibly will trip you up and make you stumble? No. And if music is making you do that, then I think you should take a step back from it and maybe only do Christian music. But if secular music is making you stumble, if it's making you want to do what maybe you're hearing in certain songs, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm listening to Post Malone, which, I mean, I'm a huge Post fan.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking maybe I want to start doing what I'm hearing in those songs. And Post had a lot of unsavory lyrics, and he still does.
Yeah.
Just a little bit less nowadays. But if I wanted to start doing what he was saying, then I should really consider stopping. But
Yeah.
as far as I know, and as far as I'm aware, Post has never made me want to do anything with music, like ever. Like, I mean, has never made me want to take an action.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. The only thing it's done is help me while I'm doing school, help me focus. Which that's music with me. I know that there are people who listen to music and they're like, "Oh, I can't focus on anything but the music." I need music to focus.
Yeah. No,
or I can't do anything.
I think definitely like music, like people listen to music in all different ways, and like for you it might help you like focus, but for other people maybe they're literally just listening for the lyrics, and that's where they might have a problem. But like I'm kind of the same at work. Most of the time I'm actually not been listening to music. I've been like watching podcasts on YouTube, or like the last couple weeks been watching reactions to the Drake beef and stuff, Drake and Kendrick beef. But yeah, most of the time like I'll just kind of put whatever on at work. Most of the time it is Christian music, but sometimes like I have a short playlist of songs that aren't Christian music, and I'll go through that just because it's like a nice vibe and nothing explicit, but it's just not Christian music.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
I definitely go through times where it's like sometimes not Christian, sometimes Christian.
being fully transparent, I listen to explicit music. Fully transparent. I mean,
No, sometimes I do too, but
Yeah.
I try and keep that not
I try to do it clean too, but then there's times where I'm like, well, I don't edit movies. And sometimes
that's true, yeah.
Sometimes I do watch movies that have a lot of cursing. So I try to like be consistent in some spots. Like I try to listen to mostly clean music, but sometimes if I feel like the vibe of the song requires me to listen to it unedited, for example, Runaway by Kanye West. One of my favorite songs of all time.
Beautiful song, yeah.
I personally feel like it needs to be explicit. Because even though like I started all of it, that song especially clean, but in the past year, like it's been, I needed explicit. It's because it's telling a story, and if you edit it, that kind of takes away from the story. He's talking about how much he's talking about his sins and how he needs to like or how he's warning people to run away from him from his certain personalities and whatnot. And it's like that I need that to be unedited and untouched, because it kind of messes up the vibe and it pulls me out of the story if I hear or whatever, you know.
Yeah, the little bleep or whatever.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's just one example. There are others examples that don't line up with that, but whatever, you know. There's a lot of nuance to it. Lecrae loves to use that word nuance, and I found a huge appreciation for it, because it's true. Life is nuanced. There is no, I mean, there are black and white topics, like I was saying, and then there's nuance, and there's a lot of nuance in life. So that's where I like, you know, go from at the end of the day. Just don't draw a line in the sand and say, be here or be here. That I won't do. And that I hope nobody does to me. Because when somebody, draws a line in the sand and says, you're here or you're here, and that's it, that's when I really start to get kind of annoyed. Like, there was this guy on YouTube years ago, and he was leaving comments under every Lecrae video. And do you remember who the crew is?
Oh, yeah. They just recently came back to YouTube.
Oh,
yeah.
Did they? Okay, I gotta check him out again.
Mm-hmm.
But his name was Kyle Manning.
From the crew?
No, he was just some rando who was leaving absolute, like, Lecrae, teaming up with Secular, and Secular is of Satan, and so Lecrae is promoting satanic agendas and whatnot. Every video, nonstop. He actually, last time I checked was a while ago, so I don't even know. I used to get into internet battles with him. Now I just see him once in a while.
Yeah.
But as far as I remember, he was doing it a few months ago still. Every video. I mean, the amount of dedication that would take. And he used to always be prompt, too. I'm like, dude, do you have a job?
Yeah.
I was a teenager. Why? Like...
He's a professional Lecrae hater.
Yeah, so... He's one of those people, though, that would draw a line in the sand. You're secular, Satan. That's the side you're on. And no, it's not that simple. That's not how life is. Life isn't that way. So, I mean, that's just how I roll with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, we had a really good conversation there. But now let's pivot to Lecrae and Let the Trap Say Amen too. I feel like we might possibly get it, which is something I'm super excited about and will always be super excited about, because Let the Trap Say Amen was an important album. It followed my personal favorite Lecrae album. I know it's Lecrae's least favorite album, All Things Work Together.
That one's his least favorite?
That's his personal least favorite, because he says that he recorded it at a dark time in his life, so he doesn't love it.
Yeah.
But it helped me through some really dark times in my life, so I mean... And also, I mean, it's just really good, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I
my
actually
favorite one.
have the vinyl right here.
Oh, do you? I have... I'm not a vinyl person. I wish I was, but it's too much money, and I have way too many CDs, and I'm not switching it. I have a signed copy.
Oh, you one-upped me. Okay.
Yeah! Signed copy. It was $5.
Really?
It was $5. I got it on a sale, man. I was so happy.
Yeah.
I got that.
Wow.
And then he was like, I'll give you this signed thing, but that's not signed. That's print. It's like, it's obviously printed. And then I have an Owl City signed thing back there.
Oh, really?
I love Owl City.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because I'm not a positive person. Like, I'm a...
Oh, yeah, and their whole thing is real upbeat.
I'm like, not pessimist, but I'm on the borderline of it. I call myself realist.
Yeah.
But I'm borderline pessimist sometimes. But it's just so funny, because Owl City's so positive and upbeat.
Yeah.
It's like, he's rarely sad, and I still love him. He was my tween/teen, tweenhood. And, I still love him. Okay, but back to Let the Trap Say Amen too. I wanted the album to be a thing so bad, because Lecrae in like 2019... Or no, 2021 actually. He had said that Let the Trap Say Amen 2 was going to be a thing.
Oh, I think I do remember that. Yeah.
But then he released, what do you call it? The one with 1K view. No church
in a while.
Yeah, he released that one, which was supposed to be Let the Trap Say Amen 2.
I do remember that, actually, because he had teased, I think it was that album, and then another possible one, the Let Trap Say Amen 2, but then it was just No Church in a While that dropped, and nothing else.
And beforehand, he had been like, I'm going to drop it. It's going to be great. We're going to do Let the Trap Say Amen 2 and like 2 other albums. And none of those came to be. And he just
Mhm.
kind of like wiped the slate clean and did No Church in a While and then Restoration.
Yeah.
Or Restoration and then No Church in a While. Um,
Yeah.
um, and I remember actually I had asked him on a live stream for the music video premiere of Wild or Wilding,
Mm.
whatever you
Mhm.
want to call it, pronounce the D or whatever.
Yeah.
I asked him if he thought that No Church in a While would sound better than Let the Trap Say Amen 2, and he had responded, "Oh, Let the Trap Say Amen 2 does not sound as good as No Church in a While." I'm sure he'd
Mm.
probably change that now because
Yeah.
every artist at the time of their album release is like, "This is my best album."
Oh yeah, everyone
So
says that. Yeah.
yeah, so that was funny, and I think I thought he was dead last year or 2 years ago. I was like, okay, Let the Trap Say Amen 2 never
Just
being a
not
thing.
happening.
And then 1K Few made the album Pray for Atlanta with Zaytoven. And some
Yeah.
hope was kind of rekindled. I'm like, Zaytoven is still doing stuff with Reach.
Mhm.
Why can't just Zay do Let the Trap Say Amen 2?
Yeah.
You know? And then the other day, and Spiritual Lemonade knows this. The other
Yep.
day, on Lecrae's post, he had a picture of him standing next to Zaytoven. And underneath, I just typed, "Please make Let the Trap Say Amen 2. Send." I didn't think Lecrae would even notice it, probably. He's seen some of my DMs, and I think he's laughed at one of them. Done the laughing emoji thing because he thought it was funny. I mean, I
Yeah.
was trying to be funny, so mission successful there. But
Yeah.
he's never we've never talked or anything. So he actually pinned the comment and then responded to my comment and said, "If you want to see the album, like this comment," on his
Yeah.
own. And he had actually responded to me because my @'s there. And
Yeah.
he said, "At
I just
JT
pulled up
Picks."
the comment. It's
Yeah,
got over 300 likes.
we need more. Let's
Yeah.
get the world in on it. Come on, Let the
I
Trap Say Amen
actually
2.
just liked it. So,
There we go. That's one more.
yeah.
Now,
At the
only a
time when I
1,000.
saw the posts, I don't think he had responded yet, but
Yeah,
I just liked it right now. So,
dude, I was freaked out. I literally went to my brother. We were in the car. And I was
mhm.
like, "Samuel Lecrae liked my comment." And Samuel goes, "Okay, calm down." I was like, "I know, but it's just so excited."
Yeah.
So that's cool. But then, and this is just my personal theory, and I haven't been told to keep quiet or anything, so I'm just gonna mention it.
Okay.
And yeah, but what I also told you earlier about Zaytoven hitting me up right after in the DMs, he actually said, "Yo, what's good? Are you an artist or a producer?" And honestly, that makes me think that Let the Trap Say Amen 2 is happening. It's a thing. It's in the works. Lecrae
Yeah.
and Zay are looking for people to produce the beats or be background vocalists or whatever, but I think it's happening. In
Yeah.
fact,
There's a good
I don't
chance.
want to say I know, but I strongly believe it's happening.
Yeah.
And
Especially because the picture was with both Lecrae and Zaytoven. They were
yeah,
together, so they're not gonna post a picture like that for nothing.
I mean, though, there was this thing. Lecrae was at a party years ago for 1K Few's birthday bash, and he was standing next to Zaytoven. Zaytoven was there.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we've had hope before, but I think this is something different. Not only Lecrae slightly acknowledging it in the comments, but just like the DM I got after
Yeah.
it kind of just reinforced that idea in my head that this was a possibility and it might happen.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
That would be crazy.
I hope. What type of features would you want to see there?
If it stuck to the first album, Let the Trap Say Amen, if it stuck to that sound, I feel like I feel like the features that were on that first album could have been better for the sound they were going for. I'm like, No Big Deal is my number one favorite artist, and he killed the verse that he was on Fly Away, but I feel like
He didn't fit.
yeah, his sound is not what Let the Trap Say Amen was.
I'm gonna agree with you.
Yeah.
Definitely. He did not fit the vibe of that, because we had 24 hours verse Simmons, but he was background vocalist on Preach, but they fit. Shy Speaks, which even though I don't even like the song she's on, honestly, it's like one of my lesser favorites of the album. I think she still even like she fit the vibe more than No Big Deal did. No Big Deal just kind of felt like a shoe-in, honestly. It didn't feel like a song from that album. So
yeah, so I don't know. Maybe
I
like
think,
someone like Aha Gazelle, but I don't know. That might not.
I don't even know if Lecrae and Aha still like they link up or anything. When was the
Yeah, I
last
don't
time
know.
they did something together?
Yeah, it's been probably since What You Mean, right?
Yeah, I think that's the last time they. I mean, the last time Aha did something with Reach was for 1K Fuse as I Am. He was on Speed Racer.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Which, fire verse, by the way. Fire song. I love that song.
Yeah.
But I think some great features. And I know I'm just dreaming here. But I'd love to see another Metro Boomin production.
Oh, bro, that
On
would be
Lecrae's
crazy. Yes.
That would make me snap. I'd go in.
Yeah.
I'd start running around. I can speak. Running around the house like a crazy man. Like I did when Zombie came out. I absolutely love that song.
Yeah.
But I would also love, and I know he's a mainstream feature, and Christians would probably hate it, and so I don't think it'll ever happen.
Yeah.
But Future.
Oh,
Future,
wow.
Future
Okay.
and Zaytoven go together.
Yeah. Their
And
sounds
so-
could. Yeah, it could work.
Yeah, and it'd be that real Atlanta sound
Yeah.
too that I know Zaytoven strives for on every album. As far as the Christian side goes, I'd probably want the first Lecrae and Zonti.
Yeah.
That's a sound I don't think we've heard.
I don't think we've heard that.
And even though he might be a little bit out of place there, honestly, I think he'd kind of fit. Just a little, I don't know why I'm thinking that on a Zaytoven project too.
I could kind of hear that. That would be interesting to hear.
Yeah. So I mean that, and then I think one more Christian artist that I'd really want. I mean, they collab all the time, but still, KB.
Yeah.
The last time KB was on a Lecrae album was, I wouldn't know.
Really, that far back?
I think. Restoration, there was nothing. There was nothing on Church Close 4, on No Church in a While.
I guess, yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, look, the last time Lecrae has collabed with KB was Miracles on his album.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But the last time KB has been on a Lecrae album was I Wouldn't Know.
Yeah.
So I think they would go really good, and they would complement, another dark sounding song like I Wouldn't Know. So, and Zaytoven's known for producing those darker sounding trap songs, which is what the Trap Say Man is all about. So those would be like my dream features. And then I definitely agree with you. Aha would be amazing.
Yeah.
On a Zaytoven beat, you gotta be. That would be beautiful.
Yeah. Aha.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I feel like your features were pretty good. I can't really think of one though, for that specific style. I don't know if there's that many artists that make that sound other than maybe 1K Few. Like he's kind of in that lane a little bit.
Yeah, 1K Few is definitely in that lane. 1K
but
Few
he's already done so much with him.
Yeah,
so.
with Zay, and so You're definitely right, and he's done a lot of stuff with Lecrae too. So, I mean, while the feature would make sense, it'd also be a little bit played out,
Yeah.
like a little bit cliched. And if we don't want to be cliched, he'd need to do, I don't know, something really unexpected. Um, I don't know why, but this mainstream feature just came to my head. Corday,
Okay. That would be interesting. Yeah. I could hear
Lecrae,
that.
and Corday. I'm thinking of Corday's feature on the NF song,
Yeah.
"Careful,"
Yeah. Careful.
which that was mid album. But Happy was great.
Another hot take here.
Oh, have you seen my review of the album?
I don't think so.
I gave it in Mercy a 5.5, thinking it'll get better eventually. Or no, I gave it a 6, thinking it'll get better. But actually, as time went on, I was like, nah, this is not like. There are good tracks, definitely, but there are also bad tracks, and I ended up giving it a 5.5. So yeah.
I think I do prefer the Search probably over
Search is
that,
like
but
a 9 out of 10 album.
yeah.
Probably
I thought that his more singing stuff on Hope was a little better, like on Happy. I loved that song and Running.
That's where I like the camp I was in.
Mm-hmm.
I keep saying the camp. That's the place I was in where I said that he wanted to do another sound and he needed to stick to it, but he didn't. He then ended up like backing away when he should have instead doubled down on a new sound.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided to do songs like the one Dude Perfect plays all the time, I think, Pandemonium. And he started doing a few hip hop songs when he should have stuck more with Happy, which is a great one. Gone, love that song.
Yeah.
Julia Michaels always kills it.
Yeah.
Mistake. I
yes,
know
that's another great
I
one.
know that Mistake sounds like, I mentioned in my video, it sounds like other NF songs. There are a few others that it does sound like, but the singing, it's so heartfelt, and the lyrics, I mean, I have legit started crying to it because, I mean, it's just relatable if you've ever said that to yourself. To somebody else, like, I just don't call me anything, just don't call me a mistake.
Yeah.
That's really heartbreaking, really touching stuff. So.
Yeah, I need to watch that review though that you did. I do enjoy them. I've seen a bunch of them, like the Not Clyde one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I think we talked about that the last time we recorded, but yeah, this was a great discussion.
Remember, YouTube, there's only 2 things I know. I know that Jesus is king, and I know that JT knows best. See you guys next time, and Spiritual Lemonade will also see you guys next time.
Yes, sir. Peace. Go be fruitful. Let's go.